Welcome to another presentation from the Academic Writing Program from the University of Maryland. I'm Katie D'Angelo.
And I'm Lyra Hilliard.
We are lecturers in the Academic Writing Program. In this presentation, we will define inquiry and show you how it will serve as an essential part of your invention process. We will also explain how the process of locating critical questions can help you find your way into existing academic conversations.
We will also demonstrate the inquiry process with the following steps. We'll demonstrate how inquiry is the first step in your semester-long project. We'll provide tips on how to choose a good topic for your major papers. We'll model how the stasis categories can help you generate interesting and exigent critical questions, and show how you can narrow the focus of your inquiry to identify the major critical questions that will drive your research for the rest of the semester.
So what is inquiry anyway? The term inquiry means to seek intensely, to question or query, to examine some matter closely in a quest for information or truth. To engage in inquiry is to seek information through the act of questioning. By this we mean that it is to open up potential lines of questioning that we do not yet know all the answers to.
When you're in the initial stages of finding out more about an issue, the search for information, and especially truth, can often be a messy one, particularly if you're looking into something that you don't know that much about. This is also true if you're looking into something that you think you know a lot about, or especially if you already have strong opinions about the topic or issue you're exploring. Inquiry requires that you set aside any preconceived notions so that you really are looking at the whole picture. Some theorists refer to questions as knives, tools that enable you to cut through this messy territory and examine the issue more deeply and more clearly. As you sharpen or refine your questions, you will begin to clarify the issues and debates within your topic. In this way, as you investigate the matter closely, you will be engaged in a process that is not looking for easy answers to easy questions or proof for an opinion you already hold, but rather a process that will slice into the more difficult and ultimately more interesting terrain of the matter that will ultimately open up other lines of questions that you do not yet know all the answers to. This inquiry process will lead you into greater knowledge about existing conversations about the issues and debates within your topic. Some of these conversations will be in the civic or public realm. Some of them will be conversations among experts in the field, and still others will be conversations between academics.
How is inquiry different from argument? To argue is to put forth your own point of view about a topic, to take a stand and present your own opinion. In presenting argument, you're arguing about what you believe is the right answer to a given question. So inquiry, in a sense, leads to argument. By inquiring into a topic, you can develop knowledge around the issue that will prepare you to respond with argument. But inquiry on its own does not constitute argument, not the kind we are familiar with anyway. You are on a quest for information or truth, but you have not yet found it. In presenting an inquiry, you are taking a stand of sorts, but not in a traditional sense. You are not presenting an opinion yet about your topic. That will come later. Here your argument is about the questions themselves. You are taking a stand on which questions you believe are the most important ones to explore. Which questions should merit your attention as a researcher? Which questions should demand greater consideration from your audience? Which questions carry the most urgency and can open up the most rigorous debates? Your argument of inquiry will answer the basic question: what questions should I ask?
It's important to remember that there are two ways of thinking about the purpose of your inquiry. In the bigger picture, your inquiry will help you begin to think and investigate like an academic. By this we mean that you will approach your topic from a more academic standpoint by considering a full range of questions around an issue, engaging thoughtfully with alternative points of view, examining your beliefs and assumptions, and being open-minded enough to potentially change your views.
At its most basic level, the aim of inquiry is to find out more about something you're interested in. When you engage in conversation with your friends or family, you may not always feel prepared to jump into the center of a controversial topic. You may not know just where you stand yet. Your curiosity, confusions, and concerns may prompt you to learn more about the topic, so you can enter the debate with certainty and knowledge. This is the point from which you're beginning your inquiry. Think about the way other people typically talk about this issue. What would you need to know to add to these conversations? At a practical level, the aim of this assignment is to develop a set of questions that will drive your research forward. But since your research questions will shape the direction of your assignments for the rest of this semester, you want to be sure you're asking the right questions. This assignment will help you narrow your focus to a clear set of research questions, which in turn will help you narrow the focus of all your papers.
So let's now go to choosing your actual topic. We encourage you to choose a topic that you have some personal connection to, because you will write more effectively about a topic you care about. But there's more to it than that. Your research topic should have exigence in that it is current, it's relevant, people are talking about it, it's important to other people right now. Again, it should be open to multiple points of view, something that people disagree on, have different perspectives on. It should be something that's debated both in public and academic circles, so that you have a good amount of research from both popular and scholarly sources. Presents issues that you don't yet know where you stand on, and of course, it should be a topic you want to learn more about. So, thinking about having a personal stake or personal connection to your issue doesn't mean it has to be based in a private sort of personal experience, but rather that it could be related to personal interests or something in your major or various discourse communities of which you are a part. And by discourse community, we mean any group whose members share an identity that comes with a set of distinct values, norms, and often jargon. Communities include everything from cultures, Irish Americans, to occupations, to interests, like preparing for the zombie apocalypse, to sports, and to geographical affiliations, and so on. Your major would be another clear discourse community. What are the issues or controversies that people in that field are talking about? What are the issues that drew you to the major in the first place? What topic would you like to learn more about so that you could contribute to conversations in your major? So your goal here would be to identify controversies within these communities, narrow the list to a group of problematic issues that you do not yet have a stand on. Other potential sources of places to think about where to choose a topic would be thinking about where you're from. Perhaps there are issues back home that are particularly interesting to you, or other geographical locations or travels or interest. So when I was thinking about this project, I thought about my recent visit back home to Florida, where I'm from, and I was immediately confronted with all sorts of issues that I used to think about daily when I was down there, and now I don't as much. And I start with, environmental things such as the Everglades and drilling in the Gulf Coast, but then the drilling issue gets me thinking about people who are unemployed and the unemployment rate, and that got me thinking about foreclosures, and that got me thinking about the economy, and that got me thinking about the presidential election, and the GOP convention this year is in Tampa, which is near where I'm from, and then that got me thinking about super PACs, and that got me thinking about Colbert, and suddenly I went from like pythons and Everglades to politics to super PACs. And as you can see here in this sort of brainstorm bubble I created, I have all these little arrows really centered around the politics and election and the media and all that stuff. So even in this very initial brainstorm, it's clear where my real interest could be centered. Like that could probably carry me easily throughout the semester if I was focused on super PACs. So based on that activity on the previous slide, it's obvious that super PACs is really what I want to talk about. That could totally take me throughout the whole semester. at the same time, it's not ideal to settle on the first thing that you pick, because other topics might also be equally good, if not better, once you've gone past an initial 5-minute brainstorm. So I really am interested in the economy and unemployment, down in Florida and of course nationwide, and how that's going to impact the election. So yeah, I could do something on that. Or we read this really cool article in English class on college students and plagiarism, and I can totally identify with that, or my friends can. So that would also be something that I could write about this semester. That's kind of cool.
Now that you've got your 3 topics in mind, the next step is going to be to write a well-developed paragraph on each topic. And you want to have some questions that you're thinking about in that paragraph. You want to brainstorm a little bit and extend your conversation with yourself about just why this topic matters to you. So some of the questions you might ask are, what are the issues and debates? And why do they interest you? Do you already have a strong opinion on this? Are you willing to challenge yourself or change your opinion if you do? Do you personally have something at stake in the issue? What might that be? And do you see any possible problems in research or writing about this issue? After you post your 3 topics memo, your peers and your instructor will give you feedback on your topics and help you determine which one will be the most effective one going forward.